Michigan Chippewas. Their head coach, Dan Enos, wide receiver Titus Davis, and their Justin Cherocci from their defense. These guys, the Chippewas came into this game winners 5 of their last 7. They had some signature wins early on at Purdue, but they're also a team that's playing very well. It's a team that likes to hold on to the football, but I think they'd like to, more than anything, like to hold on to this week in the Bahamas. So I'm going to ask Coach to talk about his and his team's experience here on the islands and then what they enjoyed.
Thank you. We've had just really a marvelous time. This has been a first-class experience for, first and foremost, our student athletes, but also our coaches, administration, and the extended families that were able to come with us and participate in this week's festivities. So it's really been a great trip from the flight over to getting into Atlantis, and then obviously the resort itself, and then being able to practice in the stadium and practice at the practice facilities been very good. And again, we've had just a great time. We appreciate all the hospitality and look forward to competing tomorrow.
Titus, I'll start with you about what did you enjoy about the week here and your experience in the Bahamas?
Mostly the warm weather. Coming from Michigan, where it's like 20 degrees, and being in 70-degree weather is a big difference, and that's probably been the best part for me, and just getting to see everything and experience the things here.
And Justin, same for you.
It's just kind of been a once-in-a-lifetime experience for a lot of us, and it's an amazing place, and it's a lot to soak in, so just trying to, we're blessed to be here, so just trying to take it all in.
Coach, I guess we'll talk about a little bit about the weather. You got nice weather, and obviously, up in your neck of the woods, it's been cold this time of year. Are there any concerns tomorrow in playing in this? Something you probably haven't been in this sort of warm weather since maybe late September, early October.
Yeah, I think both teams will have to handle the environment, have to handle the weather. Certainly, we've done our best to try to anticipate being in this type of environment. We've practiced very hard when we were back in Mount Pleasant. We have an indoor practice facility. We're fortunate to have that. We had the heaters cranked up all night and all day, and actually had it up in the mid to high 80s in the indoor. And as I asked Titus on Sunday during our first practice, I said, is it warmer in the indoor or here? He said, well, at least out here you can breathe. So they couldn't breathe in the indoor facility. So we've tried to do the best that we could. We conditioned and trained very hard, and we've had some good practices since we've been here. I think hydration and the nutrition process and the ability to get off your feet and rest will play a huge part. But certainly both teams will have to deal with it, and we feel like we've done a good job of anticipating that.
Titus, let's talk about the offense. Obviously, you're one of the main targets, but talk about your quarterback and your other receivers and your running backs and what we can expect from the Chippewas tomorrow.
One thing about our offense is we're very deep, especially in the backfield. We have a lot of running backs that can take on, whatever we put in front of them. And Coop has done a tremendous job all year. He's taken over the offense, and he's been a great leader. And, that rubs off on all of us. Our O-line has been playing at an extremely high level. And, coming into this game, I think they've improved a lot, and we're looking for this to be a big game.
Justin, we don't want to overlook the fact that you guys have a top 20 defense. And tell us a little bit about your defense and what makes you guys so good this season.
I think we got a lot of depth. We got a good class of upperclassmen. So just really being disciplined and assignment sound, and we're all on the same page and just swarming to the football. I think that's played a big part in the defense we played this year.
Coach, one more for you. Like Western Kentucky, you guys are coming on a bit of a roll. What changed in the second half of the season to get you guys where you are here today?
Well, I think we opened up with two wins. Then we had I think we lost 3 in a row until we got back on track. I think our difficult schedule had a lot to do with that. We had to play 3 teams from the AQ conferences in a row, a team from the Big Ten, a team from the ACC, and a team from the Big 12, and then the FCS team that we played was in the Final 8, Chattanooga. So they were a very good team, and then our first 3 MAC games. We're on the road at Toledo, home against Ohio, and on the road at Northern Illinois. So, our guys, we just talked about just taking it one game at a time. We went into Purdue, played a really complete football game and won that game. Came back on homecoming and beat a very good Ohio team, and then went to Northern Illinois and beat them, and they're our conference champion. And I said to somebody, the unique thing about this game is both teams, Western Kentucky and ourselves, both have beaten their conference champions. So I think that shows on any given day both these teams are very capable to be the best in their conferences. But we just have a team of guys that work. They're very blue collar. They work very hard. They have a great mindset. They're tough. We try to be very physical, and we just try to play one game at a time and take it one game at a time. And I think as their schedule laid out, we just continue to get better and found a way to win some close games there along the way as well. And again, this is a reward. When every Division I football team starts the season, one of their goals they put up there in their first team meeting is that they want to be able to play in a bowl game, and this team has accomplished that, and very proud of them. And there's not a better place that anybody's playing in than we have the opportunity to play in here. So we are very, very blessed to be here, and we had a great preparation, a great week, and we look forward to playing tomorrow.
Let's open it up to questions for Coach, our 2 student athletes.
Coach, you say it's a reward for the players, but how does this help to have the extra practices for your younger classes?
Yeah, great question. I think we were able to get in 14 extra practices, which really adds up to being an extra spring ball. So, especially earlier in the preparation, we spent a lot of time working our younger players in practice. Allowed them to scrimmage, allowed them to get coached, allowed them to watch themselves on video a little bit more than they would be able to. So this really helps. And 2 years ago, when we were in the bowl game in the Little Caesars Bowl, the same thing occurred. And these guys were both young players at the time, so they benefited from that as well. And then last year, we finished 6-6, but we did not get into a bowl, unfortunately. So we lost that practice time, and I really felt that put us behind a little bit. So the extra practices have been very good, and I think, as you would talk to any coach in the country, they would all say that all teams benefit from that experience.
Coach, could you talk about that game 2 years ago when you were up there? Could you talk about the challenges, maybe a little different with this team than what you saw with the team two seasons ago?
Yeah, it's a different team. I think the Western Kentucky team from 2 years ago was similar in the fact that they were kind of a West Coast system under Coach Taggart, and they like to throw the ball and be balanced and everything. And I think Coach Brown from his Coach Petrino tree is very similar in the fact that there's a lot of West Coast principles in there, but there's just I think they're emphasizing the pass more than what they did a couple years ago. I think they were kind of trying to be a run-first team a couple years ago. The quarterback is obviously playing at a very high level. I think they have great skill, wideouts, running backs. I think their offensive line is very good. So I think it's a lot different makeup, a lot different looking team than I remember seeing 2 years ago. And then defensively, the multiplicity that they play with, and a lot of man coverage, and getting in and out of a lot of different fronts creates issues. But pretty much from the top to bottom, it looks like a lot different team.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.